All right, you're recording.
All right. Good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. Before we get started, I just want to bring up that this meeting is being recorded, and that by being in the meeting, you're consenting to being recorded. So we're going to have another awesome meeting today. But before we get started, I'm going to ask that we do our best to avoid any distractions, and we'll continue with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And now I will pass this to Shastri. Is he here? I didn't see who.
Yes, he is here.
He is here. Okay.
Hello. Hi. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Monday night contest. So it's 6:55. I'll pass the meeting over to our contest chair, Ms. Joan Dalie.
Thank you, Mr. President, and welcome everyone, fellow Toastmasters of Wellington Club and guests and dignitaries. It's my pleasure to be your contest master tonight. And as we begin the contest so that the judges are aware of the order, contestant number 1 will be Mike Cantave. Contestant number 2, Stuart Shastri. Contestant number 3, Tim Morell. Contestant number 4, Staci Kessler. Number 1, Mike. Number 2, Stuart. Number 3, Tim. And number 4, Staci. One of our other contestants was unable to make the meeting tonight. So we have 4 contestants, and the people placing in positions number 1 and 2 will be attending the area contest. So the purpose of the evaluation contest is to provide an opportunity to learn by observing more proficient speakers who have benefited from their Toastmasters training, and to recognize the best as encouragement to all. The coordinators are instructed not to admit anyone into the room while the speakers are giving their presentations. In accordance with Toastmaster rules, we would request that you mute yourself and turn off your webcam for the duration of this contest. Only the first timer will have his picture on the screen with the cards. Please welcome now our Chief Judge, Shea, who will provide an overview of the rules, the timing, and show the colors of the cards.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Shea, your Chief Judge for this evening. Tonight, our time constraints will be a timer, if you can display. At 2 minutes, we'll be displaying the green to signify the 2-minute mark. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, if you can please mute yourselves. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll be displaying the yellow, and at 3 minutes, we'll be displaying the red signal. I apologize, I cannot find my window. So for tonight, the way that this will go is first our test speaker will come forward and deliver the primary speech for the night. We have a total of 4 contestants for this evening, and following each evaluation, there'll be a minute of silence for the judges following each evaluation, there'll be a minute of silence for the judges to go ahead and mark their ballots. Following our last contestant for the evening, all contestants will be dismissed into their breakout room, where they will remain, and they'll have a total of 5 minutes to be able to write down their notes for the evening. And then they'll be called in the order. So what we have our Sergeant of Arms that will be called in to speak to them and have them come back into our main room. Thank you.
Thank you to our Chief Judge. Contestants, please remember that the timing will start by your first motion or word. So if you make a movement that is part of your speech, that is when the time will begin. Are the timers ready? Okay. I'm not sure who is introducing. I'm sorry, I do not have the test speaker's name and title. Is someone ready to introduce the test speaker so the contest may begin?
Hi, so the test speaker's name is Sid. The title of his speech is 200,000. He is a seasoned Toastmaster and has delivered in previous contests. We're honored to have him tonight speaking. And again, his speech title is 200,000.
Can you hear me okay? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Clay County, Florida, just south of Jacksonville and west of St. Augustine. I think 95 goes through there. If you count every man, woman, and child, the population of that county is 200,000. Fellow Toastmasters, Contest Master, and fellow contestants. Taiwan, a small country size of Florida, 1/5 the size of Florida, the same population, lost 10 people to COVID. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people. Japan, a third size of US, lost 1,500 people. South Korea, 3 times the size of Florida, lost 500 people. Not only that, they never closed their schools, they never had layoffs, maybe sports, and that's about it. Why the discrepancy? Are we bad in technology? Don't we have science? Don't we have industry? Why? This tremendous event, this colossal event, I'm sure made us all think about our own lives. One thing I always came back to is our ending, our deaths. And believe me, we all have a day. You're old, you're young, you're rich, you're poor. Whoever you are, we all have a day. I always went back to my uncle. A few years back, he died. One thing I never knew, that when he died, he was so scared. We stayed with him throughout for 4 days, took turns, held his hand just to say that we are here, don't worry, don't worry. And doctor prescribed that he has only a few days left. For some reason, there was a lot of fear. And we kept the lights on, extra lights on, to say that we are all here. You always felt there are some shadows around here. So after a few days, he passed away in peace, in his sleep. Imagine the 200,000 people that we lost, ladies and gentlemen. They all almost died alone without their own families and loved ones around. She always asks why that is happening. This monumental tragedy is the biggest tragedy that happened in 6-month period, consecutive 6-month period. Not world wars, not civil wars, not anything that is comparable in the modern day in this country. 20, 30, 40 years from now, our grandchildren probably will do research on these things. They look over, they'll probably go over all the TV shows, they'll probably read the news snippets, follow the politics, and look over, and maybe look at you, grandma, grandpa. I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you that you fought for individual responsibility over so-called individual rights to save the lives. I definitely hope so, Madam Contest Master.
Thank you very much, Sid. And to our Zoom coordinator, please set up the breakout room for our contestants and the Sergeant at Arms to exit. The Sergeant at Arms will text the timer or chat with the timer as soon as all the contestants are in the room, and the timer will give them 5 minutes to complete their notes.
Okay, Joan, I'm having the same challenge I did with yours. I think I might have to have them leave, come back in, and then break them out one more time.
Okay, as long as they know.
Okay, so for any of the contestants, if you guys can hop off the Zoom momentarily and come back in on the same link, then once you do, I'll place you inside your own contestant breakout room. All right.
Okay, I'm back.
Perfect. Okay.
I'm back as well. Stacy is here.
Thank you. All right, Stacy, I'm moving you now. So you're good. We got Tim. I just invited you. Let's see, we got Mike. I just moved you. And waiting on Shastri.
Brendan, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, my computer just froze, so I'm trying to log back on. So just give me a few.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, Ray, I'm going to send you in with the contestants as well.
Brendan, are you able to confirm that all of the contestants are now in the breakout room?
Shastri is still, actually, he just hopped in, so I should be
There
able
he
to.
is, okay.
Hey, Shastri, oh, there we go. Okay, yep, you are good to go, Joan.
Okay, great. So I would like to ask Sid to put his video back on and join us for a minute. There he is. Hi, Sid, it's good to see you again. I think we had a Zoom call last week, but I don't know that the Wellington Toastmasters know your home club, what you do. So would you give us a short table topics and tell us about yourself and how you found Toastmasters? Oh, you're muted. Sorry, everybody's muted right at the moment. Need you to unmute yourself.
Yes, can you hear me okay, right?
I can.
Yes, yes. I'm from, my home club is High Voltage Voices. I also have a couple of other clubs, but I don't attend them, but the home club is High Voltage Voices. And I work for FPL parent company called Next Air Energy. And I know that Jennifer is also a member of this club, I believe, right? Jennifer McDowell.
She is the person who could not make it tonight.
Oh, okay.
She's
Okay.
stuck at work.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Then, so I work as a programmer in renewables. I work in wind and solar, and also some other small renewable stuff. So.
Well, that's great. Thank you for coming tonight and being the test speaker. It's always really interesting to put yourself out there and get a lot of evaluations from other people, but it really does help you to grow. So thank you again for coming. I'm going to ask now if Kathy Dyke is in the room, if she would unmute herself and put her video on. Kathy, are you there? Or she might have taken a 5-minute break.
Oh, I'm here.
You're there. Okay, great. There she is. Hi, it's good to see you again.
Hi, yep, good to see you.
Well, we're passing the time here waiting for our contestants to fill out their forms. Can you tell us a little bit of update on Pathways and what your goal is this year for the district?
Well, right now, as you know, district created this Pathways training team. And the goal is to get 100% of all the members on Pathways, enrolled and working on Pathways. So there are some clubs that have a few challenges in having the numbers, and they're targeting they want at least everyone to be better than 75%. But really, what we really want is everybody to be 100%. And so we've created this team, and we're willing to work with members one-on-one. We've all been assigned different divisions. I'm working with Division D, so I know Joan. I've spoken to her a couple of times. And we have Pathways trainers throughout the entire district. And it doesn't matter which district or which division you're assigned to. Once, if you know that someone's a Pathways trainer, you can always call on them. And I have, a new motto that I created for myself for this period here is, you can ask me anything about Pathways. If I happen not to know it, but I should know it, if I happen not to know it, then I'll get back to you in 24 hours. But so far I haven't been stumped yet. So I'm hoping I won't be stumped. But please reach out to me at any time. You can get my number from Joan. If anyone is, I can do Zoom one-on-one, I can do clubs, anything that we can do to help members to reach that 100% goal, because Pathways really is an exciting program. And there's it's a wide range of opportunities hidden inside of Pathways that would help you not only in your everyday life, but just also in your work environment, because we have podcasts, presentation tips. There's so much in Pathways that you can learn from it. So reach out to us and we'll make sure that you can get to your 2 pass, or all 11 if you wish. But it only takes 2 to get to your DTM. But there are 11 different paths now, and I'm sure they're going to have some more soon coming out. The most recent one is Engage in Humor. That's the one I've just enrolled in because humor is a challenge for me. So I think that I'm going to take advantage of the scope of the path to expand my humor. Thanks, Joan.
Thank you, Kathy. I'm sure I'm one of Kathy's biggest challengers. I'm technology challenged, but she's been wonderful and she responds. So please be sure, a hand for her, please be sure that if you have any questions or you're challenged by pathways, that either you reach out to me and I'll get you in touch with Kathy, or reach out to Kathy directly. Maybe she'll put her information in the chat room for you today so that you'll have it, because it can be frustrating, but once you get into it and start working with it, I know it'll be great. And Kathy, I don't know if you checked, but I checked on my clubs this week, and at the Wellington Club, we only have, and I don't know who it is, but out of all their members, only one person isn't enrolled in Toastmasters.
Oh, congratulations.
So they give a huge kudos. The club has done a
fantastic. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes.
So that's there. I would like to ask, Jan, are you there? Another area director who is with us tonight. She might have taken the 5-minute break too. She's not answering. So we'll go to plan B. Shea, would you like to give an update to your club, a quick update about upcoming events or something that you would like to tell them about next week's meeting while we're just hanging out and waiting here?
Our biggest update is our newest speed networking addition to the beginning of our meeting. So from 6:30 to 6:50, you get the opportunity to give any life updates or any networking opportunities within the club. So it's an opportunity to meet other members, express your goals and views, and also to tell us a little bit about what's going on in your life. So it's something exciting in addition to being on this platform, and allows us just a little bit more intimacy. So just plugging that in there. Mondays 6:30 to 6:50.
Thank you. That sounds great. That sounds like a wonderful opportunity. I think it's really interesting, especially for those of us who are visiting other clubs, to get to know other people, not only through the networking, but just for me, some of your contestants sent some bio forms, and I learned so much about them. So while we're still waiting, let me flip over to Mr. Miller. He looks like he's got a smile on his camera, and he's ready to tell us a little something. Will you just give us a short update, something that I wouldn't know about you? Jack? He's there. You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
I stepped to get a glass of water. Did you ask me a question?
I did. I was telling everyone that it was interesting for me, especially with the contestants, to get their bio forms and learn something about them that I didn't know. For example, I don't know if you all know that Stuart Shastri likes to play soccer. So tell us one interesting thing that your club members may not know about you, and definitely I won't know about you.
Well, my passion is water, and now it's kind of worked into rights, responsibilities, and regulations. And that, along with water, with the coronavirus that we're having right now, and the awareness of any and everything. Water is the one thing that connects us all. The water in our bodies is the antenna to the Holy Spirit. And that's the charge that gives us life. And through that same vapor, we are all connected one to another.
Very good. That's really interesting. You might, I don't know if you've already done a speech on that, but I'm sure you could probably fill us in on a lot more interesting data.
There's a lot of it.
I'm sure there is. So let me turn and ask the same question to Sonia. Sonia, can you tell us an interesting fact, something that we all may not know about you, or definitely that I wouldn't know about you?
Well, thanks, Joan. Something interesting that you may not know about me is that, let me share something that I think might my club members know, which is that I love to dance. Absolutely love dancing salsa. And that's one thing that I've really missed in this time of social distancing. Dance and social distancing don't work. You can't do it via Zoom. It's very challenging. And it's been a way for me to connect with my husband, with my friends. And so I've missed that a lot. But in the meantime, I've been practicing and doing it at home and using it as a form of exercise. So that's one thing that you may not have known. You can still dance even though no one's watching, but then you have to do it as exercise, or else you just look like the crazy lady through the curtains. Thank you.
Well, that's great. I probably should take lessons. Sounds like it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It is.
So let me turn again. I think Hyun has returned. Hyun Green is one of our area directors. And Hyun, I would like you to go ahead and tell us about your area and a little bit about the contests that are upcoming. Maybe you can fill everyone in about needs and wants and how it's going to work. We'll need you to unmute yourself.
Yes.
There she is. Hi.
Hi, it's nice to be in my home club to join your wonderful contest. I am area director of Area 43, and our contest is on Thursday, on October 8th. It's at 6:30 p.m. I hope you can all come and cheer for us.
We'll be making sure that all of the members of the club get a list of the upcoming contests. They'll all be in October, and everyone is invited. They're all via Zoom, and you can learn a lot. And we also are looking for a lot of volunteers. If you haven't been a contestant, every one of our areas needs ballot counters. We need judges. We need timers. We need every activity. And if by chance any of you are working in level 4 or 5 in pathways, there is a requirement that you do a high performance leadership role. And being the contest chair for one of the area contests would really qualify for that. So if you're at that level, there's only 2 times a year, October and sometime in the spring, it'll probably be March, when you'll have the opportunity to fulfill that requirement. So I hope you won't let the time slip. I hope you'll all think about that. If you're looking to do it, you can either ask Hyun or me. We have plenty of openings across the board coming up in October. And it would just be doing the same thing as Shea and I have been doing today, is organizing and being present at the contest. I am checking now just to see if our 5 minutes are up from our Sergeant at Arms to see if they're ready to come back to the room yet. Shea, have you had any inkling yet? Have you had any response from them?
No, not yet, but I will check with him now.
Okay, good. I think the 5 minutes, I know we waited a while for Stuart to come in, Shastri to come in, so perhaps they were a little longer than expected. Well, let me do one more off-the-cuff question, and that would be, I think I joined the club a couple of weeks ago, and it was Connie. Connie, are you a new member or a long-time standing member at the Wellington Club? And tell us how you found the club.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I've been with the club for 2.5 years, and the reason I joined is because of my sister Staci was always talking about it. So it was just it's been a great journey to enrich my confidence when I am talking to people in business, when I am on the telephone, and for Toastmasters. So I love it. I love all the different facets of it. I think it's so challenging, and we consistently have to keep challenging ourselves in order to grow. So that's my story, and I will stick to that.
That sounds good. Thank you. Thank you very much. I can't remember which club I told, but I'll throw it out there to see if there's anyone who has been a Toastmaster longer than I have. I'm always willing to give up the charge. I joined Toastmasters in 1998. Is anyone as old or been around as long as I have? That's what usually happens. Shows my age and my time. But it's been a wonderful experience. I've been in and out a couple of times, but most of the time I stayed in, even during my working career. And I found that making lots of contacts and networking is another wonderful advantage of Toastmasters. All right, let's see, who haven't we called on yet? Let's do, while we're waiting, let me throw out one more question. Oh, I think they're ready. Times have been reached. All right, I think the contestants are coming back into the main room.
Are they according? I thought they were brought in one at a time according to the.
That's correct. You are correct. I'm sorry. My mistake. This is the evaluation contest. So they're ready to come back, and your sergeant at arms is ready.
Yeah. So if Brendan will be able to step in and call the first.
I will let Brendan know we're ready then. Is everyone ready? Our judges are set. Okay. Please remember there'll be 1 minute of silence between each contestant. There'll be no talking at that time. And once I introduce contestant number 1, my video will go off, and as will my mic, and all of you should have your videos and your mics off except for the timer. Except for the timer. So we are ready now for contestant number 1. Contestant number 1, Mike Cantave. We'll have him come into the room, please.
Yeah. Joan, let me hop over there so I can let him know, and I'll be right back.
Okay, and you should stay over there, really. I can chat or text with you. I can text with you if you send me your number.
Okay, no problem. Actually, I'm sorry, Joan, real quick. Do you want me to shoot you a text message so you have it before I bounce?
Sure thing.
Okay, if you want to send it to me in the group chat, I'll grab it from there.
We actually have a sergeant of arms in the room, so I can just send you.
Okay, so who is that? I'm sorry, Shea, let me know who that is so I can communicate with him.
His name is Ray.
Oh, okay.
And this is his telephone number. I'm putting it in the chat now.
Okay, perfect. Brenda, would you like to let him know to let contestant number 1 in while I'm entering his data?
Sure, no problem.
Thank you.
Joan, did I hear correctly? We're to turn our videos off too, as well as be on mute?
Yes, sir. Everyone's video except for the main timer will be off during the contestant's presentation.
Okay, everybody got that?
As a contestant, does my video get turned off as well?
Oh, you're fine. Welcome, Mike, contestant number 1. Let's do a mic check.
Mic check for Mike.
Okay, Mike. Contestant number 1, Mike Cantave. Everyone else's mute and video off, please.
Greetings, 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 everyone, fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, Mr. President, and judges. Greetings, everyone. And I'm excited to be here tonight with everyone. Now, Mr. Sid, I've never met you. It is my first time making your virtual acquaintance. And all I have to say is, in today's era of mic drops, I have to quote one of my favorite rappers named Rakim, who said, "When I'm done, I slam it on the floor to make sure it's broke, because I ain't no joke." And yes, grammarian, I did say I ain't no joke, because ain't no joke is very appropriate. It's very appropriate for Mr. Sid. His topic of his speech ain't no joke, although we're having a little bit of humor here. But his tone, his delivery, the quality of his speech was no joke. And also the time that we're in is no joke. Mr. Sid, I have to commend you for helping visualize when you said 200,000 and you help everyone picture the distance in Florida between 2 cities and the length of 95. When you talked about your 200, that helped bring the picture together. You drove your point home with your home gestures. When you counted 1 through 10 all the way, that was an excellent way also to help bring the point home and to help us picture the seriousness and the count of people that were affected in that scenario of the alone deaths. Again, your topic was very relevant. You kept the attention of your listeners. We held on to every single word. So that being said, Mr. Sid, you did so many things right that you made it very hard for all of us, not just myself, but my fellow contestants, to find constructive criticism or tidbits that could assist you in the future. But despite that, I had to dig deep and find a couple of things. Number one, you know, it's still a challenge for many of us to deal with this lighting. So you have such great presence and such great delivery that it was a shame that I felt like the lighting was a little dim and took a little bit away. So maybe if you could do something to increase your lighting would be one of my suggestions. Speaking of holding on to every single word, and I literally was waiting for every word to come out your mouth. And at times, a couple of times, the pause were a bit longer than expected, so almost confused as if, is the sentence over or is there more? So maybe to shorten the gap to keep the pace going. And last but not least, like I said in the beginning, the excellent job with 200,000 and using your numbers. So maybe another visual aid to keep the consistency throughout your presentation. But otherwise, Mr. Sid, excellent job. We could tell the presentation. I loved your confidence. I love your delivery. And man, am I glad I didn't have to go after you because like I said in the beginning, you've dropped it and make sure it's broke. Not too many people can pick up that mantle. Well done, Mr. Sid.
Thank you, Mike. May our timer give us 1 minute, please, for the judges to mark their ballots. 1 minute. Thank you, Madam Timer. We're waiting contestant number 2. Contestant number 2, Stuart Shastri.
Hey, Joan, Shastri's here.
Oh, okay, good. We got Shastri, thank you. Okay. Contestant number 2, Shastri Stuart, contestant number 2. Everyone should have their videos off. A mic check from Shastri.
Joan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can everyone? Okay, I think we're good. Contestant
We're
number
good.
2.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, contest chair, and fellow Toastmasters. Today, I will be evaluating Sid. Now, Sid, when you started with a few questions, and you provided us facts about COVID. What better way to start a speech by asking questions and providing facts? And some of these facts that you provided were very eye-opening. Your body language, hand gestures was excellent. You said you lost 10 people from COVID that you knew, and you raised your hand and you said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you did this, which I think provided something significant about your speech. Your eye contact was excellent. You looked at your webcam. I'm not sure if you had any notes, but I didn't see you look down at your notes. Your tone though was magnanimous, especially with the subject that you were talking about. It was a sad story, and your tone matched that story. Also, your pacing echoed your point. It being your story being a sad story, you paused a lot. You left us with silence so that we could ponder and think of what you were saying. I thought that was excellent. Now, I would like to provide some constructive feedback that you might be able to add to that speech. And some of these are, I'd love to see your body. I know that you're on Zoom, but you were up here. I'd much rather you to be up over here so I'm able to see your hand gestures a little bit better. Your speech was very engaging, and I wanted more. I leaned in and I was waiting for more detail. But I wish if you had told us a little bit more story. Build up to the climax. You told us that you had someone that died from COVID, but you didn't give us the backstory. If you had give us the opportunity to learn and know who that person is, I think it would have been more impactful when you delivered it. All in all, your voice was clear. The topic that you chose was very appropriate for the climate, and you looked very comfortable speaking. Hope to see you again. Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you, Shastri. We'll have 1 minute of silence for the judges. 1 minute of silence. We're waiting for contestant number 3, Tim Morell.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, I didn't see you. There he is. Welcome. Tim Morell, contestant number 3. Mic check. I think I just heard you, but go ahead.
Okay, here I am. Can you hear me?
I can.
All right.
Everything else, unless you're the timer, your video should go off. Contestant,
Tell me when I'm supposed to start.
contestant number 3, Tim Morell. Tim Morell.
Thank you, Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, friends of Toastmasters, and most especially, if I can find him on my screen. Well, wait. Sid, where is he? I don't see Sid. Where? Sid, are you anywhere? There he is, but I don't see him. Oh, that's right. We can't do faces. I forgot about that. So Sid, I got my notes out here. 200,000, quite the grim milestone. And the way you handled this topic, you spoke with very serious, it was a very serious topic. The topic was excellent for this. Your tone, your demeanor, everything about the way you discussed this and giving the various examples of how we compare to other countries like Korea and Japan, Thailand, I thought it was really poignant and to the point. And you didn't have to do much at all to drive home the seriousness of this issue and make us question how it is we got to this point. And you put it right out there. You said why. You asked us why. Now, as far as how to, just without getting into the substance of this, but just to talk about it from a presentation point of view, a couple of things. First of all, you were looking down. So it was one of these jobs where you're looking down into the screen like that. And you had in the background, you see, I have a little fun background here, but you can go online and find all sorts of backgrounds. Wait, that's not what I wanted to do. Here you go. You can find all sorts of virtual backgrounds. You know, you can use the ones that come with it, of course, but find stuff appropriate. Like I use this one for my courtroom hearings. Sometimes I'll use this for a more dignified presentation type of a thing. And of course, you know, then I have my background like this for the farm. But you could have used something along those lines, some sort of a background that was not what you had. It was just kind of drab, and I would just think also from a vocal variety point of view, you didn't go up high, you didn't go low. You had the right tone for seriousness, and it isn't like you want to be like, it was almost like you were giving a eulogy at a funeral. You don't really want to be all wild and crazy. You need to be serious. But you could have done more with vocal variety. I would like to have seen that. So I would also tell you, you know, so adjust the height of the screen, fix the background, and have some more vocal variety. Now, whenever I evaluate a speech, I always look for two things. What's in it for me, and why am I listening to you? Most everybody gets the what's in it for me. And this was a serious one. We're facing a pandemic that it's 200,000 now, and I heard by the end of the year it might be 400,000. We need serious leadership. We need somebody to do the right thing. But why am I listening to you? Give us your credentials, make it authentic, something from you, and maybe answer that question, why? Madam Contest Master.
Contestant number 3. We'll now have a moment of 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Thank you, Madam Timer. Contestant number 4, Staci Kessler. Stacy, will you do a mic check, please?
Mic check, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Contestant number 4, Staci Kessler.
Madam Contest Master, ladies and gentlemen, Sid, you won the audience from the time you came on. You painted pictures of what we all have been in experience of in this historical time. The sadness and the empathy that you exuded, we could feel as you shared your facts that you began with. It had us have a deeper understanding of what the world experience was and has been of this COVID virus, as well as where we stand in America. The 200,000 deaths that have occurred from this COVID virus. You gave us the facts of how we could relate to possibly being a stand for certain things that maybe aren't being brought forth to our attention, and how we could behave as fellow Americans. You shared how and what we can possibly relate to as the incompetencies of our country as well. You also shared the story of your death, the death of your dying uncle, and how he felt supported, and you felt like you were a support as well as your family to this man, and how the people that have transitioned through this COVID time, we could all relate somehow, some way, see and feel the sadness that you felt as well. Your eyes revealed the authenticity and sadness that you feel for the circumstances of what has occurred. Although this speech hit our hearts with sadness, I would like to share some possibilities of some improvements in the possibility of standing up and sharing with us some body language. If you've noticed, audience, when Sid exuded his emotions, this was a time where you could possibly have shared some pauses when you spoke and you questioned us. Possibly you could have slowed down a little bit during the time that you asked us these questions. And when you were speaking, to really pay attention to who you were speaking to, which was us as your audience. I noticed that you were looking down a lot. Overall, I felt like we could all relate to this speech. We're all living in this historical time. And I commend you for being a stand as a fellow Toastmasters to what you truly believe in. And I thank you, fellow Toastmasters and Contest Master.
Thank you, contestant number 4. We'll have 2 minutes of silence now for the judges to tally their ballots. I would ask each of the judges to Follow the directions of the chief judge in submitting your ballots to the ballot counters. If the ballot counters and the chief judge, if one of you will let me know when you have received all of those and when you are leaving to go to a breakout room to count the ballots, we'll be able to have a few little discussions on the side. So let me know when you have all of your ballots.
Judges, remember to please send your ballots to the ballot counters and also the chief judge. As of now, I've only received one, so please send them.
I believe our ballot counters have exited the room. Oh, no, I still see one here.
We're still awaiting one vote,
Okay.
one judge. Okay, Sergeant at Arms, if you can go ahead and send us to breakout room 2. And that would be Mike Genduso, Henry Dow, and me. And contest chair, we've now received all votes.
Okay. Thank you. Please let us know when you've returned to the room in case I don't see your tile come back.
Okay.
Okay. Well, thank you to everyone who participated, whether you were a contestant, a judge, or a facilitator. We'll get to announce some of those later, but right now you're welcome to turn your webcams back on if you'd like to. Please leave yourselves muted unless you're speaking. So our contestants did a phenomenal job. For some, I was lucky enough to get their bios early, and I'm sure they're all there, but I didn't get everyone at the last minute. But for right now, I would like to switch over to our club president, Shastri, and ask him a couple of questions. Perhaps you could enlighten us, Shastri, about your soccer interest. Did you play as a child? Do you play now? And I have a grandson who's in high school playing soccer. Do you have any tips for him?
Thank you, contest chair. Absolutely. Actually, right now I don't play soccer because of my job and time just really doesn't permit, and with all the COVID going around. But I started playing soccer back in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands at the age of 16. So late bloomer, but it's so funny because we were talking about all the good times that we had in St. Thomas playing soccer with our coach and mentor, Mr. Montesquieu. So I did play soccer in high school. I also played for the St. Thomas national team as well. And all my siblings play soccer as well. My little brother and my big brother, sister, we were all on the same team. Tips, well, for tips I charge. So if you need some tips, just give me a call and I charge by the hour.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much. It's very interesting to learn more about each of your club members.
Thank you.
Captain Mike, where are you? You're a foodie.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think everyone here, a lot of people like to say that they're foodies and they like to eat. But I do think that with my job and the amount of travel that I do, that's one of the favorite things that I get to do. I literally get to eat all kinds of dishes from all over the world. And they say you haven't visited a place until you've eaten the food, driven on the roads, and drank with the locals. So not only do I make it a point to eat a local dish when I travel, but I also like to eat it with the locals the very same way that they do eat it. So I do take my food tasting experience to another level, whether I'm in Kenya eating with my hands, or whether I'm in Japan or in China and drinking the tea that they drink, sitting the same way that they do. That's really how I like to enjoy my food, in the very way that it was intended to be. And when I'm home, I try to duplicate some of these dishes. But that's my food hobby, if you would.
That's really great. I have one more question for you, although we're kind of in lockdown right now. If you were to tell me the best place to travel on Delta, where would it be?
The best place to be, the best place to travel on Delta would be any plane that I'm flying. So wherever that is, that's the best place to be on Delta, on my aircraft, where I can take care of you personally. So if everyone ever see me on there, it's not like there's a whole bunch of black pilots with a bald head walking around. So I think I'll be easy to spot. Just say, hi, fellow Toastmaster, and I got you. VIP treatment.
That'd be great. I'm sure we'd all appreciate that. Staci, I got your bio late, so I'm just going to have to open the door and have you tell me something about yourself that I wouldn't know.
Something about myself that you wouldn't know. Well, I'm standing, and it may look like I'm sitting because when I'm on Zoom, I am about the same height when I sit and when I stand. See? I just grow a couple of inches like that. So you may not have known that about me.
Is that a trick you're willing to share, or just something that we have to figure out for ourselves?
Tips that I have to share, is that what you asked?
Well, about on Zoom. So a tip like that, how did you, you're sharing, or is that a secret?
No secret. I just feel like when we are doing speeches in Toastmasters, I feel like we could use more hand gestures. And when we stand, it gives us more confidence, I feel. When we're standing up, we're able to utilize our full self-expression. So I feel like when we stand in Toastmasters, when we're speaking, that we're able to take our voice and utilize it in a powerful way as it just travels further.
Thank you. I think you're right. I just think it takes some practice, and obviously you have done that. I'm still trying to balance it out so that you don't see miss the top of my head or see the bottom of my shorts.
Yes, logging into a Zoom and practicing that is super simple. To just log in, practice, see if there's an echo in the room. I'm getting that. I have an amazing business coach right now that's supporting me because all of my business that I do is where I work from home. So the COVID for me hasn't been as much of a transition with being a stay-at-home businesswoman. And my coach is on here somewhere. I don't know. I can't see him right now. Oh, I see him now. My coach is Coach Brendan, and he's an amazing business coach. He has incredible tips, and he is fully dedicated to teaching people how to fully automate themselves on a stay-at-home business basis.
Well, very good. Thank you. And Brendan, that was a good plug for your business.
It was very sweet. Thank you, Stace.
Love you, buddy.
And to my fellow Toastmaster, Tim Morell. Mr. Morell is also a member of Talk of the Town Toastmasters, my home club. So it's exciting to see him here tonight and listen to his evaluations. I've gotten many along the way, but we'll flip now to the Critter Farm. And I understand it's really busy there, and getting organized is a big challenge. So why don't you give us an update on the Critter Farm?
An update on the Critter Farm. Well, you may have seen some of my updates here, but let me give you, here you go. Let's see that. We have all kinds of things going on here with our critters. And this little boy, I think I talked about this story before, came up here. He's an autistic kid, and actually, no, he's a Down syndrome kid, and he fell in love with the animals. There's our Sparky dog, and this is a Pasifina horse that we rescued a year ago, and it turned out that we saved two more from several, like 100 miles away. And when we brought the second horse up here, it turned out that second horse was the daughter of this horse. And so there's our vet. We did a photo shoot out here with our veterinarian and all of our critters. So That's what I can tell you. Lots of fun here at Critter Creek. They're all the
Invited us all. I know you've invited us all to come up to the farm. What are
Wanna
the
have you
hours?
up
What are
anytime.
the hours? What are the hours of the farm? How are you operating now during this COVID
Well,
issue?
I'm here right now. The hours are whenever you guys call and we have an appointment. It's dangerous to be alone with the animals without somebody who's a caregiver to walk you around. So if you go on our website, it takes you to where you can set up an appointment, and you set up an appointment with the caregiver, and then you just come on up. That's the key. The main key is that we have to have a caregiver who's not otherwise assigned for animal duty at that time to make sure that they're with you. But otherwise, it's anytime you guys want to. So you let me know.
Thanks, Tim. That sounds great. Sounds really good. I see a gentleman here. I don't know if we've met. James Storm. Are you still online? Did you leave us? I think he might have just logged out.
We're back into the room now.
Okay, well then we'll turn well, I guess you're going to turn the results over to me, is that correct? So we can announce the winners? Or are you going to do it from your position, Shea?
Oh yes, I can announce the runners. Okay, so in our third place winner, so there were no, I'm sorry, our timer, there were no disqualifications. Our first place winner, sorry, our third place winner was Shastri Stuart. Our second place winner was Mike Cantave. And the first place winner of the Area 47 contest is Staci Kessler.
Well, congratulations to all our contestants. Everybody did a phenomenal job. The first and second place contestants will attend the Area 44 contest on October 17th, with briefings starting at 9:30 and the contest starting at 10 o'clock. I'll be in touch with Shastri to make sure if there's some of you who would like to participate, come watch your fellow Toastmasters and play a functionary role in that contest. I personally would be greatly appreciative. In the interim, thank you for allowing me to join you tonight and be part of your club. Before I sign off, I'm going to try to recognize the participants. If I pronounce your name incorrectly, they're my apologies. Our ballot counters, Henry Dow and Mike Januso. Our timers, Natifa and Mark. Our Sergeant at Arms, Ray, and our Chief Judge, Shea. Thank you all for your assistance, and it's been a great contest. I'll turn the control of this meeting now back to your president, Shastri Stuart. Shastri?
All right, thank you, Joan. If you guys could please put your hands together, emotions together for Joan for doing an incredible job in supporting our club.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you so much. We're so grateful for your participation. And I'll make sure that I'll be there to support your club during the next contest. As Joan indicated, if you're interested in supporting her club, I'll provide you with the information so that you are able to provide that support. I wanted to thank, as Joan did a great job, I wanted to thank Joan, our Chief Judge Shea, for getting everything together, our judges. I don't know who you guys are, but I'll find out. Just kidding. Our timers, Natifa and who's the other one? Natifa and Mark, right? Mark, right. And then our ballot counters, Mike and Henry. Thank you guys so much. Sergeant at Arms, Brendan and Ray, you guys did an incredible job. And our participants, Tim, Staci, Mike, and myself. Thank you guys for stepping up and stepping into your greatness. All right, I do have a few announcements though for next week. We do need a Toastmaster. If we have no volunteers, any volunteers? Toastmaster for next week? Going once? Going twice? All right, Jack, there you go. Sold to Jack. Thank you, Jack, for stepping up. So we still need a grammarian, counter, timer, GE, and evaluators. So please log on to the website so that you're able to participate during our meetings. And lastly, dues are due. So we do want to get our dues by September 26th, which is on Saturday. If you have not paid, please reach out to Jack Miller. He's provided an email with the
I'll send out another message here right
instructions.
away, along with an invitation for people to sign up for next week's roles. We have had pretty good turnout. Most people have paid their dues. You can either send a check right away, you have to do it right now, or go on to Venmo, and it's Jack-Miller94. But I'll send that information out right away. Appreciate everybody that paid already.
All right, thank you, Jack. Appreciate it. And Joan, do you have the information for your contest? Just want to advertise it here a little bit.
It is via Zoom, October 17th. It's October 17th. It's a Saturday at 10 a.m. And I did put my email in there as well. If anyone wants to email me and volunteer or wants more information, I'll be glad to get it to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Joan. All right. Any other announcements from the executive team? Nope. Thank you, Woodland, for joining us again. Who else do we have?
And Christina's on also. Christina.
And Christina and Anna, thank you guys for joining us again. Appreciate it. All right. No announcements?
It's Anna's first time, right, Anna?
Christina, do you want
I think you're on
contact
mute,
me
Anna.
after the meeting? You said, I heard you wanted to sign up?
I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. No, this has been a great first time. Thank you so much for allowing me to join.
Thank you.
All right, perfect. All right, if there's no other announcements, we will adjourn the meeting today, and we'll have a brief executive meeting.
Thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you, Michelle.
Good night, everyone.
Everybody.
You too.